Next on Startup, we head to Nashville, Tennessee to meet with Susan and Rowan, two passionate entrepreneurs who started MillarRich, a company that provides meaningful differences to individuals with intellectual disabilities. Then we head to Asheville, North Carolina to meet with Lauren and Matt, a highly educated and business-savvy married couple who created Zappow, an art gallery with a twist that's drawing national attention. All of this and more is next on Startup.
It all starts with an idea, and everyone has them. In the world of business, where you choose to take your idea determines where your idea will take you. Baker College is proud to support Startup and those who dare to share their ideas with the world.
The American small business was built on one thing: relationships. And every time a customer walks through the door, a new one begins. Pay Anywhere was built to help entrepreneurs do what they do best. So keep loving what you do. Just get paid for it. Pay Anywhere.
The Chevrolet Volt, an everyday electric car with gas for longer trips. The nature of things to come. Chevrolet, find new roads.
American Express is proud to support Startup and the millions of small businesses that put in the hard work to be open for business in neighborhoods across the country.
My name is Gary Brado, and I'm a documentary filmmaker and an entrepreneur. The economy is in less than perfect shape, and when the jobs go away, there's nothing left to do but get up and get creative. And there are people all over America doing just that. It's estimated that up to 85% of new businesses fail. So I'm going coast to coast to hear the personal stories of the people who beat the odds and started a successful business from the ground up. This is Startup. I'm on Old Hides Ferry Pike in Nashville, Tennessee, and we're gonna go talk to Susan and Rowan, who created MillarRich, a company that places individuals with intellectual disabilities into loving homes. But there's so much more to the story than that. Let's go hear it from them. Over 120,000 children with intellectual disabilities are born every year, and about 15% of the world's population have some form of disability. Disabled adults that are able to live in a home enjoy independence, but they can also count on someone to be there for support as it's needed. After working in the industry for several years, Susan and Rowan decided that they were ready to take a leap and implement their own innovative ideas through this unique placement facility. First, let's start by telling us who you are. Where are you from, and a little bit about your background.
Well, I'm Roland Miller. I'm originally from Northern Ireland. I moved to Nashville almost 14 years ago, and had the opportunity to come to the United States in 2000. I took that opportunity and haven't looked back.
So you came straight there from there to Nashville and haven't left since?
Yeah, I had no idea where I was coming, what I was getting into, and
I assume you were a huge country music fan at that point?
Yeah, not really, no. No.
I'm Susan Richardson, and I'm a board-certified behavior analyst. I studied down at University of North Texas and received my master's degree down there back in 1999. And then started working in the field of people that have intellectual disabilities back in, I guess it was 2001. Worked for a company based out of Kansas, and kind of the rest is all downhill from there. I've been working in this field for a long time.
So tell me in very simple layman's terms exactly what it is that you do.
We provide meaningful differences to adults that have intellectual disabilities so that they can learn to become more independent within the community. On a day-to-day basis, we pair individuals up to live with superb families out in the homes. Also, we're working on a venture too to make sure that people are out in the community as much as possible, that they're learning hobbies, and that they're also learning job skills.
Where do the folks come from with the disabilities?
All the individuals we provide services for currently are on a Medicaid waiver, so it's state and federal funded. Unfortunately, there's a waiting list of over 7,000 people in Tennessee to receive services. Those services can be anything from residential, day services, support employment services, and personal assistance services. So our primary service, of course, is residential in this family model setting.
Tell me about the first 6 months. How did you actually create this business?
We had to write a bunch of policies and procedures and have a big packet of information that we could submit to the state of Tennessee before we would become approved as a provider agency. Our original business plan was just to serve 6 clients in the span of a year. So we thought, oh, we'll just start small, something that, he and I could just do together.
We got a call at the end of September from the state of Tennessee and said, hey, can you take these 6 people? So that was
You were full.
It's like, whoa,
No.
we're full. So that was from day
capacity,
one.
now what?
Yeah. So we hit the ground running from straight off, and had to go back to the bank and say, our plans have changed slightly. We're going to start off with 6 people from the start. So that happened, and we grew really quickly.
Tell me about your relationship with the bank. How did it start, and how instrumental were they in the growth of this business?
One of our board members was our bank manager. So
Wasn't her?
And Mike was a great guy, and his daughter actually has disabilities herself. So he was used to, he had experience and knew where we were coming from.
He said, hey, you need to have a business plan. You need to have this. We need to get all the personal financial statements, which, we still have to do every year. So every year we have to update all of our personal financial statements, get the, to secure the line of credit. So everything is still on the line. My house is on the line, Rowan's house is on the line. Yeah, it's a lot.
What was your growth from those original 6 after you secured a larger line of credit? How many did you go to then?
We ended up, I think, the first year with 25.
Oh, wow.
And that was, as we had said before, it's a lot of word of mouth, but it was also because we were producing a very quality service too. So we had completely satisfied individuals, their conservators were extremely satisfied. The state had come out and surveyed us multiple times during that first year, and they were always really satisfied with our services as well.
Over 65% of working age adults with disabilities are unemployed. Of these working adults, nearly 1/3 earn an income below the poverty level. Here we are on the old school farm. What do we have growing behind us? How much of this land are you utilizing currently?
Right now we have about 1 acre that's planted. We have some peas and carrots and potatoes over here, and the planter beds are filled up with strawberries.
What is the plan for this essentially, and how do you guys utilize this in your program?
Gosh, so we have hired 2 farm managers that are really, in charge of organizing everything, planning it. And then they've hired on Josh, who's one of our great farm hands and stuff, and so they supervise him. He comes out, and he actually has a job coach that works with him as well, teaching him to become more independent on the job. He absolutely loves working on here. So it's.
And he's one of your people with what is the
He has an intellectual disability, but funny enough, we don't provide residential services for him. He still lives at home with mom, so it's great for him to have a job and come out here and just work 3 days a week.
What types of changes have you seen, I guess, in him in particular, in being part of the farm?
Over the winter, it was very difficult because everything's still very barren and there's no growth. But what we found last week when we were putting up fences and stuff's actually starting to shoot up and we're starting to harvest, I saw a huge difference in Josh. He didn't want to go home, he wanted to stay on. I think he stayed on to after 5 one day when we were out here having so much fun.
What do you do here on the farm?
Everything. Anything from painting tables to feeding chickens, collecting eggs, building greenhouses. That's the fun part.
You have a name for the main rooster in here? What's his name?
His name's Foghorn Bojangles.
Foghorn Bojangles.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic name. What do you think about Susan and Rowan and Jay and these guys?
They're the funniest people ever.
They're funny?
Yeah.
Funny looking?
No, Jay is.
Cool. And do you consider these guys like family?
Yeah.
The greenhouse.
Yep.
When did this come into action?
We put that together, I guess, during the winter.
What's your primary grow in here?
Lots of tomatoes.
We started everything that's on the farm. We started as a seed in the greenhouse,
Good.
and then transplanted it to the garden.
Persons with intellectual disabilities successfully perform a wide range of jobs and can be very dependable workers. These type of jobs generally include animal caretakers, library assistants, data entry, clerks, and many more. Does this model work? Is this a successful model?
It does work, and some of the reasons why it works primarily are the fact that we're able to provide a consistent model of care for all 24 hours throughout the day. I've worked in other service delivery systems, and this one by far provides the best opportunities for individuals to have. We're now providing services to 79 individuals across 57 homes throughout all of Middle Tennessee.
So where are we right now? What is this facility that we're in?
This is the old Wade Elementary School. It's been part of this community. Everyone I've met in this community has at one point gone to this school. The front part was originally built in, I think they started work in 1931 and finished in 1936. And it was used with money from the Works project after the Great Depression.
What level of importance does social media play in this business? Are you active on any of the social media platforms?
Yeah, we're really into it. We're probably the only agency that has a marketing and media department. We have Facebook, we have websites, we have Twitter, so we're into all the social media.
As we drill down to the basic service of what you guys do, you're helping people. You're helping people with disabilities lead better lives.
Yes.
Correct.
Any advice to those entrepreneurs out there that are looking to do something similar or not similar, just something?
Do it.
Yes, do it. Dream big and put your life and soul into it. But I think mainly find something you really love doing and enjoy it.
Yeah.
So that's the secret, is to find something you love and then do it. Well, thank you so much for talking to me today.
Thank you, Gary.
All right, thank you.
There are a million ways to start a business, but how did Susan and Rowan do it? Let's find out. They started with around $30,000 in the bank with a combined credit score of 750. It cost around $8,000 to start the business, and in their first year, they earned $1.6 million in service revenue, profiting only $88,000. The one word that they said best describes what it takes to make it in business is determination. MillarRich provides a special service to those in need, and with the help of their all-star staff, they're helping to increase the quality of life for people with disabilities all over Middle Tennessee. I'd be willing to bet the farm that this company is here to stay. For more information, log on to our website and click the link for MillarRich. I'm on Battery Park Avenue in Asheville, North Carolina. And we're going to go talk to Matt and Lauren, who created Zappow, an illustration and narrative art gallery. Now, after a few attempts at corporate America, Matt and Lauren decided that they wanted to take their career back into their own hands. Let's go hear their story. Pop art emerged in the United States in the late 1950s, and the artists believed that everyday objects found in homes or anywhere else are valid subjects for the artwork. To quote the famous pop artist Andy Warhol, art is anything you can get away with. Lauren was simply fed up with being let go from several corporate jobs. And with the support and vision of her husband Matt, they decided to see what they could get away with and take their future into their own hands. Let's start off by telling us who you are and a little bit about your individual background.
Okay, well, I'm Lauren Patton, and this is my husband, Matt Johnson. And my background is, before I started Zappow, I had 14 years of experience as an illustrator and designer. And it was the third time that I got laid off. I was like, I'm tired of working for other people. I think I can do better on my own.
And I worked in large market radio for about 8 years as a DJ. For CBS Radio in Charlotte, and basically got phased out by computers. So I decided to go back to my alma mater and get a second degree in computer information systems, and now I have a background in software testing and software development.
Are you both Asheville natives? How did you meet? How long have you been married?
We met on Match.com, actually, online.
Right.
In its early days.
10 years ago?
Yes, so it was the early days.
So you're on a Commodore 64, you're typing, the little balloon went across the screen, and then you saw a picture of Lauren. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
What was the inception? What was the aha moment of doing this?
Well, for doing this, the nice thing about the last layoff was that they gave me 6 months notice. They told me—
That's big.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And they were fine with me using that 6 months, I was still working as the art director for the software company, but I was also writing the business plan for Zappow.
You have a name, did you have a logo? Let's go back to the actual inception and creation of the business.
The name was a lot me.
In his opinion.
Well, one of the things
it's very visual. When you hear Zappow, I think of the old Batman, like, pow! Like,
we wanted it to be an action thing, and the 2-syllable thing was something that was really important for both of us.
Yeah.
Because memories are short, URLs are short. Nothing's more obnoxious to me than a business that I can't remember their name.
Oh yeah. So you came together on the name.
Yes.
Zappow, you decided on it. How about logo?
Oh,
was that
That is all Lauren.
Okay. Go figure. Leave it to the artist to design the logo.
Right.
Next, was it the website, or what came next after the logo? The name? Did you file an LLC? Obviously.
We did. Right. Yeah, we're a C corporation. I had just finished my master's the spring beforehand in fine arts and interdisciplinary arts, and I really wanted to learn about business accounting. But I did not want to go get another master's because I was like, student debt, I've got it. But
right.
So I realized that if I became an H&R Block tax person, they would pay me to learn how to do business taxes and then pay me to do other businesses' taxes for a season.
So you made a kind of a willy-nilly, just shot in the dark decision. No research at all.
She didn't go sun up to sundown researching it or anything.
Wow. Okay, so now you have the business in place. How did the website come about?
We actually couldn't get our .com, and I had to purchase the .com from somebody who was squatting on it. But let me tell you, the best $200. $200. They wanted $900. I was like, look, what are you going to do with this domain? I'm the only one who's
like, come on, man.
We're going to do $200, and you're going to take it. And they were like, okay.
So you made an offer they couldn't refuse.
Right. Yeah. So we secured the domain, and we secured all of the other domains. So we got a .net, a .org, a .us, just to make sure that we secured our brand.
Did you get ZAPOW and ZAPPOW?
And dashes, yes. We got all the permeations we could think of.
All the things.
Yeah, because misspellings, people have to understand how important that is to do. Because that could be the difference between a customer and losing a customer.
Right. And once we got that back end and everything kind of squared away, we basically set Lauren loose on designing the website.
Roy Lichtenstein's pop art piece titled Woman with Flowered Hat sold for an astonishing $56.1 million. Let's dig deep into location, just so we can paint a picture for other entrepreneurs out there.
Shoe leather. Shoe leather, I mean,
yeah, we walked all over downtown looking for different places.
Okay.
What were the hotbeds of, business, and what were regarding our budget? Did we want to spend more money on better location or more money on marketing and advertising?
Which one did you decide
We
on?
chose on location.
Well, we'll get into Mountain BizWorks now because it's not completely self-funded. You needed money to start this business.
Right, we did.
How much were you going after in your business plan?
$20,000.
$20,000, manageable.
Yeah.
Not bad. Explain what Mountain BizWorks is.
Mountain BizWorks is kind of a start to finish business incubator. I mean, they when we were looking to start our business, we went to classes with them. They taught us a lot about here's how you can be successful, and a lot of the classes that we went to were taught by successful business people, small business owners in Asheville.
How has it been dealing with these folks? How are they doing so far? What's it been like to see this baby grow up over the past 2.5 years?
Well, I guess it's been a couple months since I've been in, and they every time I come in here, the place looks better. They have been a real success from day one.
So what'd you do with the money? You got the 20 grand, you found the space. Did you come in, sign the lease, and?
We signed the lease, and we worked with contractors to build out these walls. Mm-hmm. Matt and I designed the wall layout and everything in InDesign, and actually in Illustrator, and I would show Matt, okay, so this is what
I came up with the concept of the layout, but we did. Sometimes she remembers details incorrectly.
People that did it were really great. But they came in, and initially they were going to keep costs down. It was going to be 8 feet tall ceilings. As you can see now, they're 6 feet. Mm-hmm. And
there's a fire code.
So they had built out everything at 8 feet.
Did you get the knock on the door?
No, then they went and they came in and they were like, oh my gosh. So they had to, at their expense, then cut down the walls to 6 feet.
6 feet, yeah.
It wasn't our fault. They were supposed to, and they were great. We had contracts for all the things.
Take me back in time to that first month, 3 months, 6 months of flipping that sign over to open.
Not sleeping? No.
We were open 6 or 7 days a week at the time.
Yeah.
And it was just us.
It's just, yeah.
And I'm also working a full-time job on top of it. So it is, she's, you know, really chugging through it on the weekdays, and then I was doing it on the weekends a lot, and it was a lot of sweat.
And when we first opened, part of that sort of overachiever thing, I was like, we will be open all the time. So
24-hour gallery.
Well, because, yeah, because we wanted to see, our goal was to figure out which were our peak hours. And one of the things we found were that we saw some of the largest original paintings between 9 and 10 o'clock on Friday and Saturday nights.
Really?
Yeah.
We have large windows in the front. We're lit up like a Christmas tree, and people are after dinner. They've had some drinks.
Right.
They're walking back to their car.
And it's like, I was walking through the gallery.
Right.
Why not? Unlike previous 20th century art styles such as Cubism and Surrealism, pop art didn't really need explaining to the masses. The art relies on isolating the material from its original context to draw in other concepts for personal reflection. How'd you get all this stuff? It's filled with beautiful art, and tell me what your model is with curating, and how do you get this stuff?
I'm an artist, and so I already knew a lot of artists. And then it grew, and then word of mouth. And then like my biggest first job was finding artists. Like last year, I checked this with our accountant. We sent $153,000 to artists in the last 12 months.
Oh my gosh. So is this consignment? All consignment
We're
art?
a membership gallery, so artists rent their space and then they keep a percentage of their proceeds. So they keep 85%.
I think I was one of the first artists in here. I definitely came in right when they opened. And I'm really glad that I had the chance to come in here when they opened, because it was a huge learning experience for me.
How important is it for an artist to have a place like this to display in your hometown?
It's exactly what I need.
What does it mean for an artist like yourself to be in a place like this, or for your city to even have a business like Zappow?
It's amazing. It's a venue, it's a community forum, it's a teaching facility. There's a lot of people, both newer than me, starting out in a different space than me, or lifetime working artists, and we're all in here in the mix together, learning and teaching and growing and laughing.
A lot of people are going to watch this segment and maybe want to start a gallery or just start their own business. Might be anything. What advice would you give to them?
I mean, it's like really boring and basic to say, but business plan. Like, I mean, really have a solid business plan.
So it's super important business plan.
Absolutely.
Plan out everything.
Plan out, you know, and really look at the numbers. Oh, by the way, I have a present for you.
For me?
For you.
I would love a present. Oh no.
They told me I could do this.
Oh wow!
So see now,
that is awesome.
You have your very own startup.
That is incredible. That's got to go in the studio.
Yeah, so now you
I'm
have
so
your very
flattered.
own startup Fat Pegasus.
Thank you so much for your time today. I
Thank you
really
so
appreciate it.
much.
And the painting.
Yay.
Best gift I've ever received from an entrepreneur, bar none. So there are a million ways to start a business, but how did Lauren and Matt do it? Let's find out. They started with around $1,000 in the bank and a credit score of 675. They spent around $20,000 to open the business, which they acquired through putting up their home as collateral on a loan. In their first year, they turned a profit of $186,000. And the two words that they said best describes what it takes to make it in business is planning and determination. When starting a business, it's important to canvass the area to find the perfect location. And you need to be able to paint a clear picture when you draw up your business plan. Sometimes the art of being an entrepreneur is simply your ability to see the big picture. For more information, log on to our website and click the link for Zappow.
In terms of balance, I think it's something that everyone struggles with, whether they're, female or male. I think everyone is looking for balance, and I think I've just come to this idea that balance doesn't really exist, and that we have to really, instead of thinking about, family and career, we have to try to kind of bring them together and realize that you can find ways to interconnect them. So when I think about the times when my life is a little bit out of balance, I realize that there's a greater purpose to that. And so, I hope that my children can appreciate that and respect that and see that as being, a life of being a role model.
Next time on Startup, we head to St. Louis, Missouri to talk to Corey and Jason, two serial entrepreneurs who created Strange Donuts, a unique donut shop that's encouraging St. Louis residents to stay strange. Then we swing by Asheville, North Carolina to talk to Evan, a Chinese medical practitioner who started Silverleaf, an herbal pharmacy and acupuncture studio that encourages people to achieve a more natural, holistic lifestyle. Be sure to join us next time on Startup.
Yeah, let's do another option for you.
Okay.
See, this might be a little bit more your color.
This one fits perfect. Oh, it feels good too.
Like it was made for you.
I feel very free. What? So I know we're on opposite sides of the fence, but why do you always gotta balk about what you do, huh?
American Express is proud to support startup and the millions of small businesses that put in the hard work to be open for business in neighborhoods across the country.
The Chevrolet Volt, an everyday electric car with gas for longer trips. The nature of things to come. Chevrolet, find new roads.
The American small business was built on one thing: relationships. And every time a customer walks through the door, a new one begins. Pay Anywhere was built to help entrepreneurs do what they do best. So keep loving what you do. Just get paid for it. Pay Anywhere.
It all starts with an idea, and everyone has them. In the world of business, where you choose to take your idea determines where your idea will take you. Baker College is proud to support startup and those who dare to share their ideas with the world.